so this one, we got our lovely still life you did. So with the original photo, this front container that you've left white right now was, it looked like kind of like a silver leaf box that with a lot of scroll work and carving and pretty. I can see why you'd feel challenged to do that, right? So, and at this point, because you've been learning how to draw only in 1 month, and we just want to have something decent to hand in for your portfolio, you don't need to master something like that because it might kind of ruin it. I can see why you wanted to leave it. So that means that the detail here that was in the original isn't going to carry, you know, the drawing anymore, right? Because everything else was sort of supporting shapes to this detail. So what can we do with this, with color, so that we could just use this container I have, which is pretty similar shape. We just we'll just maybe keep it relatively flat. So and it'll give you a guide on, you know, drawing it. But we'd want it to have a color, I think, because white's not going to do anything in that composition. Right. And this is part of what this drawing was about for Humber College, was seeing, can you draw still life and can you compose with color, right? So if we're looking at color, what are some of your thoughts? First, what color could go here? Second, how do we have a nicely composed drawing with different colors in here that's going to work? So I see with us changing this and taking out the detail, that now color becomes even more important.
Right.
And so now I'm seeing some potential problems here. So I'd like to hear what you think. What would we have to adjust maybe to this to get this to work, and what color could possibly go there? What do you think?
Well, I think this needs to be darker, or more vibrant. I don't know. I feel like it kind of gets lost back there.
Okay.
I don't know what color I would do. Like something to contrast this, like a yellow or something.
Okay.
But then is it too?
Okay.
So I don't know.
So I do like it being a light color. Seems right, doesn't it? You got your holding dark right here to you know, really balance it. This is really our center of interest area. So that's all good. So yeah, a lighter object, since these are so dark, makes sense. So it's either got to be lighter than this or brighter, maybe.
Brighter, maybe.
A different color, right? Not just the same. So one possibility is yellow. Yep, I think that's true. What else could we do in there?
Like a blue, maybe? Like this sort of blue?
Yeah, that's another good idea. That more sort of turquoise blue could look really nice in there. Any other ideas?
Color-wise?
Color-wise. So they can go blue or yellow, and it's all still sort of an analogous color scheme as far as the objects go. Do you know what analogous means?
Like same family sort of thing?
Kind of. It means next to each other on the color wheel, so like following the spectrum. So that would work, because if it's already in there, there's some yellow in there, there's some blue in there. Yes, that could work, and still have it harmonize.
Would you think maybe go to the other side of the color wheel?
You could.
Okay.
What would that be then?
Is it red for green?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So what could look pretty in here though? Because this is such a lovely color here, right?
Like a pink or an orange? Like, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, it possibly could be kind of like a coral color. That could look really snazzy in there. So any one of those three could look good. Now, what happens though is that we have a bright, beautiful colored object here, bright, beautiful colored object there, and then two things that are kind of merged because they're overlapping and they're the same material, and then we have this half, that half,
Right.
which is not so great. So what would you want to do then to create a little bit more harmony and separation so that we don't, like that they feel like a little more connected rather
Yeah.
than that, those two things and these two things. What do you think you could do to these?
Like how to change them?
Yeah, adjust them a little bit. How would you
I
adjust them?
don't know, because I was trying to think of that before when I was by myself.
Okay. So, well, what I would just do is make one more, bottle green and one slightly either brighter green or more bluish.
Okay.
Right? Just shift the color so they're not exactly the same. And then we can decide, well, which one should be the darker or the brighter, right? Now in the photo, in the color photo, this one's a bit darker and this one's
Yeah.
a bit brighter, but that doesn't mean that we have to do that on our drawing,
I
right?
think it might be easier because that's very dark.
This one is already darker,
Yeah.
so to leave it darker might be easier. However, I'm wondering if this were brighter, if it would help it sit out
Yeah.
front more, and that one darker to sit it back,
Mhm.
because it's kind of just the supporting actor
Yeah.
at the back, So that this can hold its own with this. If this had a brighter highlight, some bright green, that brighter bottle green, not the really dark one, might really give that a little life and zing and a little more shape. If we put the belly here in a brighter green,
Okay.
that would really make that sing a little more. And because it's out front, maybe we create a few little highlights, like, oh, there's a bit of a yellow highlight or something, so that we take the colors that it's made of, right? Green is blue and yellow. We can add a bright green here, some yellow highlights, and maybe some blue on the shade side, so it becomes a little more interesting. And this one, maybe you could make a little darker, maybe, or a richer color,
Okay.
perhaps, at least down here, just a bit richer color, just
Okay.
there, but leave that. You did a beautiful job of it. This maybe could be brighter, but how about we wait to decide that till this thing's done,
Okay.
and then we see. So we just have to decide what really is the best color there. Yellow, a bright turquoise, or maybe some kind of coral or peach or something. So that would be hard to decide right on here. So what we want to do is just do a little thumbnail sketch, or you photocopy this thing in color and you try it, coloring in, and you see what looks best, and you'll know when you see it, because you're good with composing color. There's another little trick we could do to figure out what's going to look good in there. I think because you're good at color. I see the way you dress. You dress nice. You know how to put nice stuff together. I mean, even just sketching it really quickly right here, or even get your tracing paper and try one with it, try another one, compare them. We may know just
Okay.
right there and then. I will show you another tool though for color composing that can be a nice guide for a designer to use when we're in that state of, what should I put here? What's going to look great? So we will look at that, but while you're trying that out, I'm going to get out this little, it's a color harmony guide.
Okay.
So you may find it useful to know how to use it. I find it's great for troubleshooting if I've got either a color scheme where I know something's a little off but not entirely sure what it is, or if I'm working on a painting and I can tell it's out of harmony, but I have to figure out, well, what color do I change or add to make this work? So I'm going to show you that. It's called the Itten Color Star. Have you ever heard of that? Maybe you'll learn about it at school, I don't know. You will probably, in color theory class, learn a bit about Itten. He was a major color theorist.
Okay.
So get some tracing paper out and maybe just try some different colors and see what you think would look nice in there, okay?
Okay.